Stream live on Twitch at LordBrandon10.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video here for Destiny Rising, and today we have an absolute cracked wolf build. I cannot wait to show you guys. I have not been pumped up about a unit review or a build in a very long time, and wolf actually is surprising me, and I cannot wait to show you guys. But before we get into the meat, juicy potatoes and all that other good stuff, whatever, if you guys are needing any calamity helps, any PvE helps, any Crota helps, please look down in the comment section below. There is a pinned comment from me with a link to our Discord server. Join our Discord server, get notified when I go live in our Discord server, connect with all the amazing members in our Discord who love everything about Destiny Rising and ask questions. Join our community. We'd love to have you there. Also, link in the description for my Twitch channel at LordBrandon10, where we conduct these tests live before we film them for you guys over here on YouTube, and where we also do our helps. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop in to this wolf build. And yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe too, because that helps me out too. All right, so starting off, I want to go over the light link companions. So I'm running Estella because I have, I think, a T2 or T3 Estella. So that's going to give me essentially a 9.75% increase in solar damage across all of my abilities. So that's my Wolf's Flames, that's my Wolf's Dash, my Wolf's Combustion, and my auto rifle, and essentially my super if I wanted to use my super, but I'm going to explain why you don't want to use your super here in a second. And then I'm running Caber. Caber is at a T6. That's going to give me a flat 5% increase in arc damage for my Sadi Yelixni Smart Bomb, and that's going to give me the flat 5% there increase in damage. Now, weapons. I am running the Sworn Oath. Sworn Oath is really good for rapid fire whenever we have rapid fire Shinkas in rotation. I also want to point out that Wolf has the ability of doing all three Shinka types all in one, which is really insane. We'll get to explaining that here in a second. We'll show clips as well. But this is the rapid fire weapon. The perks I'm running on here in Synthesia, Fraternity, and Ensured Yields, all with the exotic perk mods matching the exact perks on the weapon. So yeah, and then I am running the one and only the Sadi Yelixni Smart Bomb Heavy Grenade Launcher. Guys, this thing is insane. I have it fully maxed out, and I'm gonna put a clip up on screen. This gun essentially allows you not only to do spread, but it also allows you to do impact Shinkas as well. Guys, we tested this in the practice range on a level 90, which is the highest you can put it on in a practice range. We literally dropped him in one shot. We took this into a Master's Calamity this cycle, which isn't really too tuned for Wolf, but we still took it in there and did some testing, and he literally dropped and nuked the impact Shinka in less than a mag with the Smart Bomb enabled, or the Red Giant perk, I believe, enabled, or the Catalyst, excuse me, enabled for the Smart Bomb. It is absolutely a tank of a weapon to run. I highly recommend that you are running this on your Wolf. Running this is going to allow you to do all three Shinka types: rapid fire for the auto rifle for Sworn Oath, spread of course with the Smart Bomb, and of course impact with the Smart Bomb as well. And we'll get into a bit on how to get all that to work. Going into our relic abilities, I have everything maxed out. We are going to pause here for a second. The reason being is because we're going to hit the artifacts first, and I'm going to explain how the artifacts actually tie into the relic abilities and why it's really important to make sure you have everything leveled up here. So starting off with the artifacts, and I just want to point this out for future reference, that these are not the best attributes that you can get on Wolf. These are just some of what you can get. I'll give you my recommended on what you should go for on the first slots 1 and 2. But starting off with artifact number 1, we are running Ring of Abundance. This states it grants 48% potency to healing and overshield received. So essentially what this is going to do, and I'll try to throw a clip up on screen as well, when we get if I can, but essentially what this is doing, anytime I'm using my Wolf's Strike, or because I'm running Healing Veil as well, it is going to not only give me the overshield, which we'll get to here in a second, but it's giving me shield and health as well. And the perks or the attributes that I'm running is Shield Boost, which I highly recommend. Overshield bonus, which I highly recommend. If you guys don't know what overshield bonus does, it grants 25.5% additional overshield health upon overshield acquisition. The reason that's so important is because when you look at things like your Wolf's Awakening, it states here that whenever Wolves accumulates Lupine Nature over time, reaching 120 Lupine Nature resets and enhances Wolf Strike, increasing its range and damage by 100% using an overshield. And using an enhanced Wolf Strike also grants 1600 overshield as well. Even if you don't have enhanced Wolf Strike, just using Wolf Strike on its own is going to give you the overshield as well, which is really insane. Now going back to the artifacts here, I have defense boost. You don't really need defense boost. You can sub this out for elemental resistance, and of course they have healing bonus on as well, because it works sort of like how overshield bonus works, is you grants 54% increased healing effectiveness. So once again, it just ties back all into the V ability and Q ability for when you're running your abilities to get health back and overshield back all in one. Ring of Abundance really seals it in for the overshield here on this unit. Going into my second artifact here, I'm running Healing Veil. If you guys have been following my channel for a little while now, you guys would know that I am a sucker for Healing Veil on any unit that uses movement tech. Essentially what it states is casting movement abilities instantly restores 16% health. Once again, using my V ability is going to tie into giving me health. It's going to tie into giving me shield. And one thing that Healing Veil does not state, and like I said, I'll throw a clip of this up on screen. One thing Healing Veil does not state is that instead of it also giving you health, it also gives you shield as well. And so I believe how it works is, let's say your health is full, but your shield is not. Whenever you're casting your V ability on Wolf, you do get 16% diverted back into your shield as well. Not to mention, if you're running overshield bonus, you're also getting overshield on top of that. And if you have an enhanced, or if you have Lupine Nature on, using the enhanced Wolf Strike also gives you the enhanced overshield as well. So if you do everything right, you can get 3600 overshield on one V ability, which is actually freaking insane. Once again, same attributes I would run here: healing boost, shield boost. I'd go overshield boost. And then I would definitely swap out, I would definitely swap in elemental resistance, or if you don't want to go elemental resistance and when you play into full tank, you could swap elemental resistance for healing bonus. It's kind of personal preference or whatever you prefer. I'm a fan of healing bonus, so technically I would go healing bonus instead of elemental, but that's just me. Either or is fine. Going into slots 3 and 4. Slot 3, I am running Inverted Fury. This artifact states gain 30% weapon damage bonus while shield is present. So essentially, if you are playing your abilities to the T, you are essentially going to have essentially overshield unlimited and shield unlimited, and this is just a free 30% weapon damage that's going to be stacking on our weapon enhancement, our ability strength, which is going to give us extra smart bomb damage, and our arc boost, which is going to give us extra smart bomb damage. And then we seal the deal with explosive shell. Explosive shell states projectiles gain 48% blast damage and 48% blast radius on direct hits, which is insane. It stacks with the smart bomb, allowing for even more high DPS rotations for burst damage. Once again, same attributes to get that tier 10 slot for both of the artifacts here. So one of the things I want to point out here on the build is with Lupine Nature, guys. So with Lupine Nature, there's a couple things happening here that I want to take a second and explain. One is it refills constantly. And so if you're in combat, it's 3 seconds, it's 3 Lupine Natures per second. If you're out of combat, it's 4 Lupine Natures per second. If you are killing ads, any regular red bar is going to be 20, any yellow bar and up is going to be 40. And so if you're killing ads, and even if you're constantly spamming your Wolf Strike at combatants, then you're essentially going to be getting your Lupine Natures insanely quick, on top of the constant healing that you're receiving from that Wolf Strike as well. Now, one of the other things I want to point out here is on the talent tree here on T1, which is hunting horses, or excuse me, not horses, hunting hours. Oh my god, hunting hours. It states when using Wolf Strike or an enhanced Wolf Strike, it grants an additional 1600 health overshield, which lasts for 6 seconds. So that's what I was telling you guys earlier. Even if you don't have Lupine's Nature, you're still going to get overshield on just a regular Wolf Strike because of your T1 ability on Wolf, which is insane. So like I said, if you're got your Lupine's Natures full, and I'll put a clip of it on screen, if you've got your Lupine's Natures full and you pair that with the Wolf Strike, there's 2 instances of 1600. You're getting 3200 overshield. Excuse me, that's 3200 overshield. And then you pair that with your artifact, which is going with the overshield bonus, grants 25% additional overshield health upon acquisition. And then at a tier 10, that's 23, that's an additional gain, and that's, oh my god, I can't talk today. At a tier 10, you gain a 23.1% overshield lasting 10 seconds once every 25 seconds. So it just specs into the whole overshield build and just makes this guy an absolute tank. All right, so another thing that I want to point out here, guys, is something on your weapon mastery. I don't think a lot of people know this, but whenever you're casting your Q ability, you're going to get what they call, if your weapon mastery is leveled up to at least 1, you're going to get what they call Wolf's Combustion. So anytime you throw a Q ability out, it's going to cause what they call a Wolf Ignition. So Q ability equals Wolf Ignition. Now, during that time, any weapon shots that you do within that time, which is 10 seconds, is going to give you at best on the T5 or on the level 5 weapon mastery is 40% combustion damage. So once again, just to reiterate, anytime you use your Q ability on Wolf and you throw it at an enemy for 10 seconds, you will have what they call Wolf's Combustion, which is going to allow you to do an increased 40% damage that stacks with everything else on the build, as we covered earlier, for 10 seconds. But there is something that you must know about this. If you do your acclaim and get your talent tree to T6 all the way for free, which the game gives you, at T5 you get an extra 2 seconds of Wolf's Combustion. And not only that, it increases that Wolf's Combustion by an additional 20%. So at a level, at a weapon mastery level 5, it's 40%. We tack on a T5 at we tack on a T5 on the talent tree, which the game gives you for free, mind you. Again, that's 60% of Wolf's Combustion damage, stacking with everything else you have that we've already covered so far. Guys, that is insane. So another thing that I want to point out here in the build, and we're going to do some practice range tests here just to kind of showcase this in a second, but if you guys are just looking at Wolf's Awakening, you're going to be like, well, Brandon, what were you talking about earlier? You can use Wolf's Flames to proc Lupine Nature. Because here on Wolf's Awakening, it only states that you can use Wolf Strike to proc it. Well, if you level up your relic trait level 1, proccing Wolf's Flame while your Lupine Nature is full is also going to give you that increase in damage from Wolf's Flames as well. And we're going to show you something here in just a second with the testing behind that. Not only that, but whenever your Lupine Nature bar isn't full, the second it gets full, it's going to restore your Wolf's Flame. And so this is really important because Using just this one relic trait, it's going to essentially give you a 40% acceleration boost for, I believe, people who are in, I believe it said 25 meters in your radius. And so this is essentially doing what Hellhest would do with her damage drone, where she gives you a speed boost for X amount of seconds. Wolf's Dash essentially does the same thing if you are, I believe, in a 25 meter radius, if I set it to, or if I read it correctly. So that is absolutely insane. Okay, also guys, one more thing I wanted to point out here in the talent tree is Wolf Strike, or Enhanced Wolf Strike, deals 50% increase in damage as well. Just really playing into the damage and tank side of things. Just wanted to also point that out. All right, so another thing I want to point out that makes this build real devastating, and then we're going to go into like combos and how you should really play your wolf here. If you look at your weapon mastery one, it also, or your relic trait one, it also states that Wolf's Flame, when your Lupin is max, is going to shoot out 2 instances of the Wolf's Flame. So let me demonstrate. If I have my Lupine Nature, which is full right here, which, mind you, this is the thing that I was telling you guys about originally, that will refill every 2 to 3 or every 3 seconds while in combat, every 4 seconds out of combat, kills, etc. Once this is full, if you look, if I throw it, notice how it shoots 2 of those flames. Now, if I don't have, let's say, a full Lupine Nature, notice how it only shoots out 1 of the flames there. So that is why you want to make sure when you're doing your damage combo, let me show you guys what I mean. So when you're doing your damage combo, what you're always ideally going to start off by doing is making sure your grenade launcher is loaded with the heavy, because your heavy is always, your super is going to refill every 25 seconds. So every time you consume your smart bomb for the super, whenever you use your smart bomb and infuse it with your super, every 25 seconds you will have another stack of 5 grenades ready, because that's how long it takes to get your super back up. So when we start a DPS rotation, we always start off with our ignition for Wolf's Combustion, follow it up with a dash that's almost 100k worth of damage. We charge our shots, and then we load in another set of nades. We're going to follow that back up with another Wolf's Combustion and ignition, and also follow it up with a strike if we wanted to. And we're creating those high instances of burst damage really quick. Notice how we still have Wolf's Combustion on as well. And I kind of botched it, but you get the idea. That's going to essentially be your combo on Wolf. But with that being said, guys, that is going to be it for this video. That is the Wolf build. Sorry it took me a little longer to explain everything. I just wanted to make sure I really got all of that in there, and that you guys understood how this build worked in its entirety. Even just, if I may, I wanted to go back to the artifacts. I'm sorry, I just thought of something. I wanted to point out something with the artifacts here, especially on slots 3 and 4. What's really unique here about Wolf is that he has a lot of different build crafting options, probably one of the most I've seen in the entire game. And what I mean by that is, let's say we're not running Smart Bomb. Let's say you're not playing a Smart Bomb build. What's really unique here is, let's say I'm running the Solar GL and an exotic like Sweet Business, for example. You could theoretically change out your Arc Boost for just Solar Boost on both artifacts and have like an all solar themed build, and probably end up maybe doing somewhere a little close to the damage you could potentially be doing on this build here, or if not around the same. The only difference is that you're going to be limited on the heavy side of things, as to where with Smart Bomb you essentially have unlimited heavy every 25 seconds, or granted if you already were stockpiling heavy beforehand. And so there's a lot of build crafting opportunities here with Wolf, especially when you look at things like your artifacts, the exotic ones, for example. I highly recommend you guys, if you're going to be running Smart Bomb, I highly recommend for your 4th slot to go ahead and run Signature, because remember, whenever we do our combo, when Lupine Nature is full, you're going to be doing ideally around 90k damage or so. And you're always going to do your flames and then your dash, and so having your signature ability proc first on your Q ability to buff your damage, and then follow that up with the enhanced ability from your signature on your V ability on that strike is going to be devastating on anything that you are engaging with. And that is that's what you would call a high burst unit. He is really insane. I have not been pumped up about a unit like this in a very long time. I don't know what took me so long to fall in love with Wolf. I think the only reason I started to notice that he may be a trend is because next season we're gonna have spread, or not spread, but we're gonna have impact and rapid fire, arc and solar. I'm like, well, Wolf theoretically can burn all of the Shinkas, as I told you guys earlier. And the fact that he can do that and still have the right coverage for the elements is actually insane. And so I was like, well, let me give him a shot. Let me do some testing. So we took it into Calamity, and it worked out like a charm. Literally took down the impacts, no problem. And then we was like, okay, well, let's see if we can't step up the ad density or the ad level. So we took it to the pack range, did level 90, which is the highest level. Literally melted the guy instantly. And in some cases it's actually faster than Ning Fei. And Ning Fei is going to be a real hitter next season because it's going to be arc rapid fire, so Ning Fei obviously is going to be viable. And in some cases for impact, compared to Mahamagiri, the Stalixni, let me make sure I'm pronouncing it right, the Sati Yelixni Smart Bomb is actually outperforming Ning on impact immensely, which is insane. And that Dimension Wolf can actually be paired with Ning to give Ning the acceleration boost, to actually move through some of those regions a lot faster come Calamity time. So there is a lot of potential for this next meta to be triple hunters. I'm thinking Hellhest, I'm thinking Wolf, and I'm thinking Ning Fei might be the play here, guys. As crazy as it is to say, who knows, maybe Caber falls into the mix somewhere. I don't know, we'll see. But the way it's looking, Wolf, Ning Fei, and Hellhest, maybe possibly Jaren to sub in for Wolf. So that is it, guys. Please, if you heard anything from this video today, please make sure you're doing your claim. Go get yourself a free T6 Wolf. The game has given it to you for free. Go get your artifacts. Go get these different units, or these artifacts built. Get your Wolf up there, get ready, and start doing this now before Season 3 drops. You won't regret it. Trust me, I will be running this come Season 3. Who knows, he may even be on my Crota World's first attempt. So, guys, I'll see you in the next video. This video's gone on too long. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Bye!